So by default, your ancestors wrote the Bible. Now, what did your ancestors call themselves? As a race of people, what did your ancestors call themselves?
Good question.
What time are you talking about? The Moors, the Arabs?
Your ancestors never called themselves Moors.
Okay. So what did they call themselves?
That's humble. We called ourselves the Israelites.
That's right.
I'm gonna show you that. Let's go to John 1:47. We go into history past the Moors, past the Berbers, all that West African, Islam, conquest, Arabs, and all that. We called ourselves Jews. We got something called Black Jews. That would be us.
All that stuff too.
All right, well, it don't seem like, because if you did, you would have knew your history. You would have knew the answer. You would have gave it. But you said that you didn't know. So clearly you don't know, bro.
There's a lot of different
This is the book of John, chapter 1, verse 47.
Cops and robbers, it ain't the same today. Trying to find a different way. Lord knows we was running wild. Mama and them told us pump our brains. Took that chance to get my mind right. Long way, doctors in the total. Father, I need life.
Not 100%. So how do we become 100% free as a race of people? That's the golden question. That's what we all gotta. That's what we all trying to figure out. How do we become free, 100%?
collectively being together as a culture and a race.
That's right. Culture and a race. Now, what's our culture? As the so-called black race, because everybody has their culture. Look at the Chinese man, he got the Day of the Dragon.
Right.
Or you got the Irish man, he got the Lucky Charms.
Lucky
He said we don't have it, right? Now, did you know that was prophesied in the Bible? That one race of people will actually lose their heritage and their culture? Let me show you that. Go to Jeremiah 17:4.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, and verse number 4.
You believe in the Bible?
I don't believe man abused his power.
I agree with that.
What was God doing during slavery?
That's a beautiful question.
Was he asleep?
That's a beautiful question. Now we're going to answer that. Nevertheless, the Bible is black history. I'm about to show you that it's black history. This is something that they never taught us in church.
I know of the Ethiopian Bible and all that stuff. I know about it.
Listen, we're not talking about the Ethiopian Bible. We're talking about the King James, the original Bible that's been translated from certain texts until the present day.
King James?
Before we get to that, I'm going to show you black history in the Bible.
All right.
Watch this.
Jeremiah 17 and verse number 4.
Right.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage
Jeremiah said a certain group of people would discontinue from their heritage, Lord,
that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
that same group of people that lost their heritage are going to serve their enemies in a land that they didn't know. Read.
For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
Now, which race of people did that describe right there? Someone that doesn't know their heritage and that's serving their enemies in another land.
Okay, but you're using a Bible that was...
Now, I'm asking, what race of people is that describing?
Race of people that did what?
What race of people lost their heritage and has served their enemies in another land? Who did that happen to? Black people. So, by default, we just read black history in the Bible. Now, I know you said you don't believe in the Bible 100% because of the authority that some people use with it, right?
No, but that's a religion that was imposed upon blacks when they came here, that were colonized by them. So that's what you're teaching people.
Well, the Bible is not a religious book. Like how you said, certain people, they use this book in the wrong way. There's something called the slave Bible. Now, the slave Bible is the King James Bible, but it consists of only certain books. Books like Exodus, books like Psalms. Listen, hold on, listen.
But even the King
Hold on,
James
brother, I gotta finish.
Okay, but you're teaching
Things,
stuff that I don't need that I already know or I don't
you
even
making points that's not valid. So I'm trying to explain, but you can't come back, brother. You can't even come back because you don't know my point or angle where I'm coming at. So before you rebuttal,
Before we even get there, why are we
even
reading the King
rebuttal,
James Bible then?
we just read that the King James is black history. You just admitted it.
Why are we reading from the King James Bible then?
Did we just read black history in the King James Bible?
I'm just asking you a question. Why are we even reading from
Hold
the
on,
King
you
James
just
Bible?
admitted that black history is in the King James Bible. Yes or no?
You know King James history?
We know.
Yeah, what about it?
King James is a so-called black man who ruled over Scotland and British. He authorized the translation of the King James Bible from the Masoretic text, the Greek Septuagint, and the Latin Vulgate. And he transliterated it into the English. Again, he was a so-called black man that did that around 1611, really 1609 to 1611.
Right.
So yes, we do know about King James. Going back to the point, we just read you that Black history is in the Bible, and you just admitted it. So by the let me show you something else too. Song of Solomon 1:5. Since you don't think the Bible is, inspired by so-called black people, we're gonna show you Black history in the Bible.
Can I just say something like that?
You can say something. You can say something when we done with this.
Everybody comes from Africa, so everything in there has to be from black people. So I don't understand the point you're trying to make.
Songs of Solomon 1:5. That's why you gotta listen.
Nah, I don't.
That's why you gotta listen.
Check that out, brother. Check that out.
This is the book of Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem.
So Solomon, he said he's black. If this book is written by a white man, if King James was white, why would he put in the Bible that Solomon is a Negro, a black man?
You're trying to teach me something that I already know. I already know
You
this.
just, brother, you was about to make a point about King James being a white man and homosexual.
The homosexual part, yeah, not the white man.
Well, if you was gonna make a point about him being a homosexual, by default you was gonna make a point about him being a white man because they make that white stigma and figure on King James.
Right.
Let's be honest, brother.
Right.
Let's be real.
I'm just talking about just the colonization and that being used by colonizers for the enslaved. And you're
now
basically
listen.
doing the exact same thing.
All right, but you disagree with it. So you disagree with it.
No, I agree that history is black history because all history is black history because everything comes from Africa. But like that was used
So
by
would you say?
colonizers.
So would you say that the black man wrote the Bible? Your ancestors? Would you say your ancestors wrote the Bible?
Yeah, everything came from Africa.
So you say yes. So by default, your ancestors wrote the Bible. Now, what did your ancestors call themselves? As a race of people, what did your ancestors call themselves?
Good question.
What time are you talking about? The Moors, the Arabs?
Your ancestors never called themselves Moors.
Okay. So what are they calling themselves?
That's humble. We called ourselves the Israelites.
That's right.
I'm gonna show you that. Let's go to John 1:47. We go into history past the Moors, past the Berbers, all that West African, Islam, conquest, Arabs, and all that. We called ourselves Jews. We got something called Black Jews.
I already know
That
about
would be us.
all that stuff too.
All right, well, it don't seem like, because if you did, then you would have knew your history. You would have knew the answer. You would have gave it. But you said that you didn't know. So clearly you don't know, bro.
There's a lot of different answers.
This is the book of John, chapter 1, verse 47. Jesus told them that they who coming into and said of him, behold, an Israelite indeed.
My ancestors called themselves.
Behold, an Israelite indeed.
What's our true nationality?
Behold, an Israelite indeed.
We will be Israelites, the real Jews. You said that you knew that, but when we asked you, you said you didn't know. So do you know or do you not? Which one is it? So again, we will be
When are you going to
Israelites.
answer my question?
Answer the question.
Straight to the point is answering my question.
We're going to answer your question with the Bible.
Right.
Because you said, where's God? God tell you where he was in his word.
Okay.
So let's go to Deuteronomy 28, start at verse 15.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 15.
Right.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
So this is Moses speaking to the Israelites. If y'all don't listen to God and keep my commandments, read on.
to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
God said he would send curses on the Israelites if they don't keep his commandments. Let's
Right.
read where God was during slavery. Go to verse 68.
Verse number 68.
Mind you, if we don't keep these commandments, he will curse us. Read this.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
God said he will send the Israelites back into Egypt. Egypt is a representation of slavery or bondage. See, when we read Exodus, that's where they were. Moses said, let my people go. Real quick, I'm going to show you how America is spiritual day or captivity in general. It's spiritual modern day Egypt. Seeing the slavery and oppression that we went through. Revelation 11 and verse 8.
Book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse number 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
So it says a certain place that is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. That place that's spiritually called Egypt will be America, because how the same way the Jews were in slavery in Egypt, they were the same way slaves in America. So
Right.
it's a pyramid from Egypt on our dollar bills in America. So that's the context. Now read verse 68 again from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
The Lord's going to bring us into slavery again, Egypt again, via what transportation?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Transatlantic slave trade?
With ships.
God said he will send us into slavery with ships. So you ask, was God that doing slavery? God said he was sending. Because we disobeyed him as a people.
Right.
I will send you into slavery with ships. Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
As a race of people, you will never see a homeland again. Read on.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
And when you get to that place, you will be sold unto your enemies, auction blocks, for what?
For bondmen and bondwomen.
Slave man and slave woman.
And no man shall buy you.
No man will buy or redeem you as a race of people out of this captivity. So that ends the
So
question.
he rewards white people then.
No, God punished us.
He rewards them. They don't believe.
They don't believe.
And they're rewarded.
Well, let me show you. Go to Amos 3, and verse number 1. So God doesn't deal or care about any other race. He upholds and listen. God upholds and he raises up nations. He raised up the white man to punish us.
Right.
I never said that. I said he raised them up to punish us.
That doesn't make any sense for them to be rewarded in history.
We can deal with that,
Never
brother.
been dealt with.
Understandable. That's 100% right. But first, before we get to the white race, we're gonna stick with us. We can talk about them and they're in. But right now, we're focused on us right now.
Hey, I just stopped here to just chat for a minute, but that was cool.
Did that answer your question with slavery?
No, it didn't.
All right, brother.
No. Hey,
You
y'all be good
gotta
though.
humble down.
Y'all
Stop
be
being so prideful.
Right.
And come back to your
You
race.
understand.
And come back to your nationality. I understand that you are an Israelite.
You're not bringing
Get some
anybody
fringes, rub dirt on your face,
same thing as
come
this
out with your
woman.
Bible,
Right.
and get some understanding.
Right.
Go to Acts 17 and verse 11. All right, brother. Go to Acts 17 and
Book
verse
of
11.
Acts chapter 17 and verse number 11.
Right?
And these were more noble than
verse 10.
verse 10.
Back, brother.
And the brethren immediately sent away Paul
I see.
and Silas by night unto Berea, who coming thither went into the synagogue of the Jews. These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, and that they received the word with all readiness of mind to search the scriptures daily.
That's what type of mind Jake gotta have. Have readiness of mind to actually search the scriptures and understand.
Right.
Here it is. We just asked you. Do you know the name of your race prior to slavery? You said you didn't know. We told you we called ourselves Jews, and all of a sudden, I already knew that. It was Moors, we already knew that. So Jake, your pride, man. Go to Proverbs 6 and 16. Your pride is gonna get you destroyed in the last days. So what? No, you can drop that.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, and verse number 16.
out.
And it reads, these 6 things do the Lord hate. Yeah, 7 are an abomination unto him.
Right.
A proud look.
What?
A proud look.
Not receiving the words of God.
A proud look.
God hates someone that's proud. Hey, brother, you got time for God? Juneteenth was yesterday. I know you got time for God.
Yeah, brother, you too, brother.
All right, read on. A proud look.
What's your
Read on.
nationality?
A proud look.
Don't.
A lying tongue. And hands that shed innocent blood. And heart that devises wicked imaginations.
Right, and that's it on that. So the Most High, is going to destroy all prideful individuals in the last days. Go to the classic in Sirach 10, verse number 7. Somebody give me Genesis 18 and verse number 27. So Israel, you got to humble down, man.
All right, go to
This book of Sirach, chapter 10, and verse number what?
Sirach 10 and 6.
This book of Sirach, chapter 10, and verse number 6. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by the injurious practices. Pride is hateful before God and man.
So the Lord said pride is, slow down a little. The Lord said pride is hateful before God and man. So you're going to let your pride overthrow you in the last days. Here it is. You asked about King James. And we broke it down briefly. Then you said we didn't answer your question. Then you said, all right, well, what was God at in slavery? We went to the most milk, straight to the point verse about slavery. Deuteronomy 28 and 15 to the verse 68. Oh, well, you didn't answer my question. Well, if you got all this pride built up in you, then you can keep it pushing on the real. So most I'm not dealing with it.
Right.
Now, what else I call? Genesis Actually, read that again. That's right 10. Read that's right 10.
Correct. 10 and verse number 6.
Bring it out.
Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices.
Right.
Pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity.
Right.
Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gone by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to the other. Why is earth and ashes proud?
The Lord said,
Why is earth and ashes proud?
that again.
Why is earth and ashes
So
proud?
the Most High said, why is earth and ashes proud? That's another term for man. Hey family, y'all got time for God?
1
So
minute.
God says, he said, no, you shouldn't say it. Why is earth and ashes proud? And here it is, go to Isaiah 44:1. Here it is, you have certain people in the Bible that God referred to as his friend, as his chosen. Really Abraham. Here it is, Abraham was called the friend of God, and Abraham understood that he was still earth and ashes.
Right.
But now you got Negroes and, you got people in the last days who just extol themselves above the Most High for real.
Right.
Read about Abraham. Let's go to Genesis 18. Read this.
This is the book of Genesis 18, verse 22 and 27. And Abraham answered and said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am but dust and ashes.
So Abraham even said, I've taken upon myself to speak unto the Most High,
Right.
who am nothing but dust and ashes. So Abraham, no matter, he's a friend of God.
Right.
The Most High made a covenant with Abraham, which led down to Isaac, which led down to Jacob, and came to the 12 tribes.
Right.
So a man now himself was called the friend of God. If he's not puffed up and proud off that, then what the hell make you think that you can be puffed up and proud? Here it is, you don't know your nationality, you don't know your origins, you don't know where you come from, but then when your brothers try to teach you, you got your damn chest all out, like you know something. Also, go to Genesis, or Galatians rather, Galatians 6 and 3. Bring this out.
This is the book of Isaiah 44 and verse number 1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus saith the Lord that made
42 and verse 1.
42 and verse number 1. Behold my servant, which whom I uphold. Behold my servant, whom I uphold, mine elect, in whom my soul delighted. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street.
That's not it. That's in maybe 43%. Yeah, that's not it. They call him the friend of God. I have to find that. I have to find it. But bring us out in the meantime.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 3. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceives himself.
So if you think, and these are all, classic precepts. If you think yourself to be something when you're nothing, and you puffed up in the mind, you're deceiving yourself. That's what happened with Demetrius. Right, go to 3 John, verse number 12. All right, go to 3 John, verse number 12. So all that puffed up preeminence, you think you the man. We just went over that yesterday.
Right.
With damn, what was his name? Absalom.
Right.
Went over that with Absalom and damn Abimelech. How they was both proud and puffed up.
Right.
And both of their latter and both of them got destroyed.
Right.
So pride literally leads to nowhere.
Right.
Let's go to, hold that, go to Sirach, chapter 1 and 29 too. Go to Sirach 1 and 29 too. So the Most High deals with the humble, the lowly, the meek. Hey brother.
That's my people.
Hey brother, what the sunset?
Hey, my boy.
Hey Majay.
See what Monte, yeah, we know you.
Check it out, man.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yeah, that's my people. Come check it out. What's the word, man?
What's up, brother? We got 2 quick verses for you to come out. We got 2 verses for you to come out. Now, we teaching how the so-called black man is the Jew according to the Bible. You ever heard about that before? Never heard about blacks being the Jews? What color would you say the people of the Bible are? Be real. You think they white people? The people of the Bible? You think so? Let's go to Job 30 and 30. I'm gonna show you that the people of the Bible is actually black people, believe it or not. All right, we're gonna see how many verses they ran to in church and see if you kind of remember some of these. Because I know in church for sure they brought these verses out. Right. You been to church before? But I'm led to believe when you went, you was going back to back at one point in time, though, right? Or Granny that was taking y'all. Hey, but we'll teach you a little something. Let's read this.
This is the book of Job, chapter 30, verse 30.
Bring it out.
My skin is black upon me.
What color is Job?
My skin is black upon me.
Job said, my skin is black upon me. Job was a so-called black man when you read the Bible. You heard about the book of Job, right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure they taught you he was probably white. All right, white man, stranger here. According to the Bible, he's actually a so-called black man.
Right.
So if he's black, then obviously his father and his mother had to have been black. And his kids, his descendants had to have been black. Which means his whole race is probably black people. So we've drawn a line showing how the people of the book matches with us to this very day. You would be an Israelite, according to the Bible. God's chosen people. You wouldn't be black in the term of as a nation or a name of a race of people. All right, you would be God's chosen people. Go to John 1. 47. Go to Genesis 32 and 28. Alright, real quick, John 1 and 47. And you know what they say, Juneteenth, right? That was just yesterday. And we asking everybody, what's really the point of Juneteenth? I'm asking that too. What's the point of Juneteenth? What happened on that day? Did you celebrate it? You gonna celebrate Juneteenth? Alright, well, Juneteenth, they say that's when a black man was free from slavery.
Right.
Now, as we know in America, we're not really free for real. We're still oppressed. We're still in captivity under the hand of the so-called white man, this police system and this government, right? Now let's read this.
This is the book of John, chapter 1, verse 47.
Bring it
God
out.
speaking to our ancestors.
Jesus saw Nathanael coming to him and said to him, behold, an Israelite indeed.
What's our race?
Behold, an Israelite indeed.
God called us the Israelites, and now it's Israelites. We're going to show you the oppression that was prophesied that the Israelites would go through in the Bible. Go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. What get first? What you got?
Last precept you called the James.
Okay, you can drop that. I'm going to show you something you peel off. You know, you got to get God's word in for the day. You got it?
Yeah. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Israelites, that's us. If the Israelites don't hearken and listen to God, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
God said he will curse the Israelites if they don't listen to him. Is a curse a good thing or a bad thing? If somebody say, hey, man, I'm going to curse you. I'm going to put the spell upon you and curse you.
Damn. Sound bad to me.
That sounds bad.
Right.
So God said if the Israelites don't listen, I'm going to curse you. Let's read about those curses. Go to verse 16.
Curse shalt thou be in the city, and curse shalt thou be in the field.
God said the Israelites, wherever city you go to, Chicago, the third biggest city in so-called America. So whoever the Israelites are in Chicago, they will be cursed. At the bottom of society, strung out on drugs, at the bus stop, doing God knows what, hating one another, all right, trying to kill and get down on one another. Who does that sound like? Oh, that's the people. Sound like so-called black people.
Right.
But God said he's speaking to the Israelites.
Right.
And then it said, curse shalt thou be in the field. In the field, obviously, we was cursed. That's what the whole Juneteenth was about, us getting free from the fields. So clearly we see God is making a correlation with the people of the book and us to this very day. So if we kind of got similar lifestyles with us and people of the book, then who must we be according to the Bible? Start with an I. The Israelites. That's plain. The Israelites.
Right.
So we the Israelites. I'm going to show you two more verses. I know you looking over there. I'm going to show you two more verses. Go to 54.
Verse 54. And it reads, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
So another one. The Israelite man, his eyes going to be evil toward one another. What that sound? I'm going to ask you what that sound like. Having your eye evil towards your own brother, your own neighbor. What that sound like? Sound like Negroes, black people, YNs. All right, read.
And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children.
So-called black man is going to be evil toward the remnant of his children. Now, did you grow up with your father in the house? Yeah. Now, I'm pretty sure you got homies that didn't grow up with their pops in the crib, though, right? A lot of them. Now, was those homies, was they white kids and Asians and Arabs? Nah, it was us. It was so-called black people. So God said the Israelite man, is going to be evil to his children, which he shall what?
Which he shall lead.
Read that again.
Which he shall lead.
It's prophesied in the Bible. The black man, the Israelite man, is going to be known to lead his children. So much so to where they make fun of it nowadays. They say a black father can't raise a family, but an elevator can or something like that. You know, they got all these black jokes. My pops went to the store for some milk, never came back. Went to grab some switch from the gas station, never came back. I never showed up at my 16th birthday. The whole time we find out he locked up somewhere in jail down in California. So these things happen in the black community, but we read about it in the Bible. So if these things happen to us, they happen to the people of the book, again, that would make us the people of the book, the Israelites. It's the last verse for you, verse 68.
It's verse 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
God says he's going to lead his chosen people into slavery again with what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
How do we get to America? What transportation? In slavery, did they take us from Africa to the Americas? What transportation do we have to use? A boat, a ship. God said he will bring us into slavery, into bondage with ships.
Right.
No other race can relate to that. That happened to us. You know what?
By the way, whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold to your enemy.
Of course, we got sold to the so-called white man. What did God just call the white man right here? Your what? Your enemies. So are we each other's ops, or is the so-called white man the real ops? They've been the real ops. God said that. That's in the Bible. You should be sold unto your enemies. Read.
For bondman,
Slave man,
and bondwoman,
slave woman,
and no man shall buy you.
nobody has bought or redeemed us as a race of people out of America. Took us back to our homeland. So you see how this works? You see how our history's in the Bible? So that's what y'all here teaching, that you wouldn't be black, wouldn't be a Negro, wouldn't be whatever this world call you, Afro-American, Moorish American. You would be an Israelite.
Right.
God's chosen, holy, peculiar, favorite, special people. All right, brother, we got a fly. Y'all already got the flyer. So look into it, brother. All right, look into it. Much love, brother. You'll be an Israelite. All right, stay safe. All right, I'll pray to the Most High. Get up for the Lord, man. All right. Oh yeah, brother. That's you the brother was looking for. We want to jump in on this side real quick.
That's James.
We want to jump in,
That's
brother.
James. We know it's James.
Come on, bro. Yeah, come on, bro. We want to jump in on this side. No, that's all we want to just sit shit sheep. You know, again, like how we said yesterday, we're not looking for scoffers. All right, we're not looking for. We're not going around the city of Chicago, posting on the social media. All scoffers come to Michigan Avenue in front of the bed and debate all day. No censorship.
Got 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, that's all. We just put on social. All scoffers come to the bed. Oh, you got it? Oh, that's rich.
In the book of James, chapter 2, and verse number 23.
Bring it out.
Okay, bring that one.
In the book of James, chapter 2, and verse number 23. And the scripture was fulfilled, which saith, Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto him.
Time for God. That's all.
Lil Uzi.
And it was imputed unto him.
What's wrong with this country? I don't know if he was going to be under that.
No.
Under that.
Hey.
That's man, Israel, man. That's Israel, man. Just read this again.
James 2 and verse 23. And the scripture was fulfilled, which saith, Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of God.
Going back to that point that we had earlier, you know, he was called the friend of the Most High. Abraham was. And we just read Genesis 18. Abraham, he refers to himself as dust and ashes. So the fact that Israel, all right, our women, our brothers, hey, Philly, y'all got time for God?
2 minutes for the Bible.
Y'all gotta put clothes on. Y'all gotta put clothes on. Church ain't going to the Philly. Go ahead and put some clothes on. All right, go to Zephaniah 1 and verse number 8. All right, go to Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse number 8. Somebody give me Lamentations chapter 3 and verse, Lamentations 4, 2 and 1. All right, 2 and 1. You know, we fell a long way from the people. We fell a long way. Let's read Lamentations 2.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 1. How hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud and
If you just read the Bible, you understand the weight that we had to our name of us being Israel and the authority and the rulership and the priesthood that we had amongst the whole entire earth. And you look at us to this very day, the Most High, he really punished us on a severe level. See, we get on the white man a lot, we get on Esau a lot. Right. But really, the Most High really had his hand on us, like how we tried to break down to the brother earlier. Read that again.
how has the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud?
The Most High said he covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud. Modern day, that's like you saying, you walking around with a dark cloud over your head. Gloomy, low state, oppressed, forevermore.
Read. In his anger, and cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel.
The Most High said he cast down from heaven, from rulership, authority, to the earth, the beauty of Israel. Now we walking around at the bottom. See, what is down there? See, we went from being the number one nation, the best nation, upon the whole entire face of the earth. We went from this all the way. We went from number 1 to number 18. Now you got Esau at the top. You got Elam, you got Ishmael right over you. Imagine you living in a society where the damn Elamites, the Elamites have it better than you.
Right.
Esau got it better than you. He can't even stand in the damn sun. But here it is, you guys chosen people, and you content with being at the bottom of society. Right, read.
Remember not his foothill in the day of his anger. The Lord has swallowed up all the habitations of Jacob.
So now go to Lamentations 3 and verse number 5. Bring out what you got.
That's her in the blue, right?
Oh yeah, hey sister. Hey sister. Hey sister, we want a quick opinion. All three of y'all. We want y'all opinion real quick.
No, my question, it was actually that brother right there.
Hey brother, what's your opinion on the sign? 2 seconds. That's all we ask. For Juneteenth. For black people. Alright, read this. So again, Israel, man. There's no patience, no time for God whatsoever. No faith in the land whatsoever. Read this. See, back then, you was getting grabbed up to go to church, and you had to go and listen to white Jesus. But nowadays, the words of God are out here freely. Your grandmother spent her last dime catching that bus ticket just to go to church and give the pastor her last alms. And you have to watch her do it. And here it is, the words of the Lord are outside freely for you to give. Not only just any words, but true words. Right. Not those lies that they taught you that you paying for. Right. And through your stiff neck and through your rebelliousness, you still have the audacity to have not 1 minute for God. Read this.
Book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, and verse number 8. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children and all such that are clothed with strange apparel.
Right, like how Eve is clothed in strange apparel. Right. And that brother that was clothed in that strange apparel. Right. What's that called again? The overalls with nothing over it or under it. Wearing overalls, and the woman that was right next to him, she damn perverse as hell too. So you got Jake and Eve that's gonna fall into Zephaniah 1 and 8. Nevertheless, going back to the point, Israel, you failed from a long way. All you literally have a book called 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles. Really going back to 1st and 2nd Samuel and Judges, you had judges all throughout the land. Now look at you today. Go to Judges 5 and verse number 10. You even have songs where the women of our people, they glorify Israel. They sing when we went forth to battle. We have righteous music about how high the Most High extolled us as a people. And now look at us. You got the so-called white man and white woman over you. You got the Elamite man over you. You got the Ishmaelite man over you. Not knowing what the hell is going on. You at the bottom of society, killing one another. So read whatever I call Lamentations.
Lamentations 3 and 5. This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 5. He hath builded against me and compares me with gall and travail. He hath set me in dark places as they that be dead of old. He hath hedged me about that I cannot get out. He hath made my chain heavy. Also, when I cry and shout, he shut up out my prayer.
Most times when we cry out and when we shout out, he shut up out our prayers. You know how wicked and abominable we have to be as a people for the Most High to actually shut out your prayers? I've cried, I've shout out. He has shut down my prayers. Read.
He hath enclosed my ways with hewn stones. He hath made my path crooked. He was unto me as a bear lying in wait, and as a lion in secret places.
Meaning, no matter what, the Most High, he cut us off. He devoured us. Go to Zechariah 1 and verse 18. We read that it's just saying he was as a bear and as a lion in secret places. That's how the other nations are to us. The Most High put a spirit in these other nations, these devils, right, these heathens, to overtake us and overrule us as a people. Right. For our sins and our iniquities that we committed against the Lord.
Right.
Go to, what else I have you hold?
Zechariah 1:18 and Judges.
What?
Zechariah 1:18 and Judges 5.
Yeah, read Judges 5.
5 and what?
5 and verse 10.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 5 and verse number 10.
Start at 1.
1. This book of Judges, chapter 5, verse number 1. Then sang Deborah and Barak, the son of Abinadab, on that day, saying, Praise ye the Lord for the avenging of Israel, when the people willingly offered themselves. Hear ye, O kings, give ear, O ye princes. I, even I, will sing unto the Lord. I will sing praise to the Lord God of Israel.
Deborah, we read Judges 5. She made a beautiful song and a prayer to the Lord God of Israel.
Right.
And we read that beautiful song. It's literally going down into each tribe, besides Dan. But it went into each tribe how they were men of war, men of might. She got down to Dan and said, well, Dan kind of stand on the ships. But you read that it's a beautiful song. And that was us in that at our glorious state. Or when we was ruling. We had authority and we put fear in these other nations. Nowadays, the nigger not putting fear in nobody.
Right.
All right, go to Deuteronomy chapter 2 and verse number 4. All right, like how we always bring out, we made Esau fear one upon a time. And bring out whatever precept I call it.
Zechariah chapter 1, verse 18. Then lifted I up my eyes and saw, and behold, four horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, What be these? And he answered me, These are the horns which have scattered Judah and Israel. Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem.
Right, so you have these four horns. These four horns represent the other nations that scattered our people. You know, throughout the four corners of the earth. But that had the specific part, you know, in captivity. Read on. Catching nobody moving at that place. Read on.
And the Lord showed me four carpenters. Then said I, what come these to do?
Esau the last.
Said, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man did lift up his head.
So the Most High said, these are the horns that scattered Judah. That took them. Man, this is folly up here, man. They think they can catch me at that damn place. Alright? Probably for the oppress Israel.
Right.
Nevertheless, that's the state that we in now. We just read the Lamentation 3. And we just read it right here. These four wars, these different nations, they came and they devoured Judah and Jerusalem. Look at this. What the hell is this? That's all.
Bro.
That's all.
You got a little drum.
So Esau is finished, man. Esau is finished. America is finished. That's all. Bring out what else I call, man. Bring out what else I call. That's why the Lord said in Job 27 and 14, if his children be multiplied, it is for the sword. Read that in Deuteronomy 2. I call Deuteronomy 2.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 2, and verse number 4. And commanded thou the people, saying, Ye are to pass through the coast of your brethren.
Hey, brother, did y'all end up catching him? See that? Read this again.
Deuteronomy 2 and verse number 4. And command thou the people, saying, Ye are to pass through the coast of your brethren, the children of Esau.
All right, so when the Most High divided us our lots and our landmass, in order to get to Israel, leaving from Egypt, the Most High made us go through the land of Edom. So you have to pass through the coast of the children of Edom. Read.
The children of Esau, which dwell in Seir, and they shall be afraid of you.
And the Most High said, during that time, the children of Esau, Edom, they were afraid of you. You ask the average so-called white man, is he afraid of the so-called black man? They gonna laugh at you. Hey family, y'all got time for God? Hey brother. Hey brother with the hat. Quick question, brother. Hey elder.
Brother.
Hey, read on. So the Most High said, they shall be afraid of you. Read.
Take ye good heed unto yourselves, therefore.
Most High said, take good heed unto yourself. I can imagine there was one point in time where you came in that land and every nation bowed down their head before you. That was the state of Israel back then. Nowadays, you getting killed by the police, unjustly murdered. Hey, family, y'all got time for God? I'm talking about black people. How about you, brother? I know you got time for God. 2 minutes.
Man up.
All right, you gotta man up, brother.
Man up.
Black power, man up.
Walking like you got
Read this. Hey, Esau, see Esau not scared of that right there. We just run on Esau used to be scared of us and the side might walk past. That's all. Esau's not fearing it. Read
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse 8. And before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof, and she said unto the man, I know that the Lord have given you the land.
Start at 1.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse 1. And Joshua, the son of Nun, sent out of Shittim to a man to spy secretly, saying, Go view the land, even Jericho. And they went and came into the harlot's house named Rahab and lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, Behold, there came men and hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country.
So you had the children of Israel that came in to search out the land. Right? Why? Because we're going to come and conquer the land. It's during that time of the conquest of Joshua. All right, and you know with Joshua was playing in games. And we could read, man, if I had more time, we were going to it. Joshua damn near stopped the sun to finish killing and overthrowing the Hebrews.
That's right.
All right, you read that in Psalm 47, and verse number 1 on them. You read about Joshua. Read in Joshua 10 the works that he had to put his foot on the neck of the Hebrews. And this is the state of Israel at one point in time again. We read in Leviticus 2, the Most High, he cast from heaven to the earth the beauty of Israel. All right, and we see that state where we are today. We see that state of our fathers during our so-called glory times. Read 2 Samuel the 8th chapter and see how David had multitudes of nations in subjection and slavery. And what is 11? Read about Solomon, same thing. How he finessed her women, had all these Navy SEALs go and get all this gold from Arsenal and Ophir. So read on.
And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, Behold, there came men and hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country. And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, Bring forth the men that are come to thee, which are entered into thy house, for they be come to search out all the country. And the woman took 2 men and hid them, and said thus, There came men unto me, but I was not whence they were. And it came to pass about the time of shutting up the gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Whither the men went, I was not. Pursue of them quickly, for ye shall overtake them.
Right, and we read this whole chapter and kind of go into how much authority that we had over the Hebrews, how scared they were of us, as a people. So we got to come back to these laws, these statutes, and these commandments. I wish I had more time. One more precept. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse number 9. 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse number 9. So again, it will be a time where the so-called black man will be raised back up. The so-called Hispanic man will be raised back up, and Native American, Seminole Indian will be raised back up. And for you so-called blacks and Hispanics, this is not your end. You have hope in the latter end. And for the so-called white men and all these other nations, this is your end right here. Our America is the last ruling kingdom. Russia's going to be our last ruling kingdom. And the so-called black and Hispanic man is coming back into power at a level that nobody has ever seen. Let's read this.
This is the book of Ezra.
That was her right here.
2nd Ezra.
Hey, sister, check this out, sister. Yeah, it was you, sister. Check this out, 2 seconds. How about you, sis? On the phone, with the pink phone, with the pink shoes and the dress, the purse. All right, let's read this.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
Lord said,
For Esau is the end of the world.
as we living in,
For Esau is the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Go to Baruch 4:28, go to Psalm 43:30.
In the book of Baruch, chapter 4, and verse number 28, it says, For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so he returned, seek him 10 times more.
The Lord said,
Seek him 10 times more.
back in the world.
Seek him 10 times more.
Read.
For he had brought these, he had brought these plagues upon you, shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation.
The same God that brought plagues upon us is going to be the same God that brings us everlasting joy and can with our salvation. Bring us up. 43 and 30.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 43, verse 30. Right? When you glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as you can. But even yet, will he far exceed? And when you exalt him, put forth all your strength.
The Lord said,
Put forth all your strength.
and fast.
Put forth all your strength.
Be weary.
Put forth all your strength.
Read.
And be not weary, for you can never go far enough.
And no man can never go far enough when it comes to serving the true living God, Yahweh, Hashem, Amashak, Humalak, houses of that Shah. And with that, pull your shoulder. Pull your shoulder. Pull your shoulder.
Pull your shoulder.